welcome Damer, Dr. Saad, Dr. Utpal to the first edition of the Uncrackable Conversation. Hello to our live listeners. We are currently live on LinkedIn and Twitter. And I want to start by introducing this initiative. My name is Kapil Dhiman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Quranium. And today I'm really proud to inaugurate uh, Quantum Security Awareness Day as 25th of April. This is an initiative that we have started to spread awareness about the importance of paying attention to the security aspects of the quantum computing world. And with that, we are starting the Uncrackable Conversation, a virtual roundtable edition, where we are going to invite world leaders who are leading the charge and thought leadership in emerging technologies for a dialogue for our audience to see how this world can progress. So I'm really excited to welcome our guests today. Thank you so much for taking out the time. It's a pleasure to start this information. So let's start with the introduction. We have Dr. Utpal Chakraborty, CTO at IndiqAI. He's a thought leader in the AI space in India, has worked with IBM, L&T, and Yes Bank. In the artificial intelligence industry, he's a well-renowned face in India. Mr. Dr. Saad, thank you so much for joining us, leading the charge of quantum computing in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, heading the Center for Fourth Industrial Revolution and KAST, and Damir Bogdan, the CEO of Quantum Basel. I think one of the finest facilities around quantum that I've seen around the world, putting the entire ecosystem together. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Kapil.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. So I think the theme for today that we want to start with is first of all, of course, for our audience, we are going to start with why quantum computing and discuss about the nuances of the strength and the threats around quantum computing. We'll have an open forum to discuss this topic, and by the end of this conversation, we'll open the floor for questions from the audience that we can take some, and we can keep it completely focused around the requirement that is taking place globally right now, in the private as well as the public sector. So maybe I can invite you, Damir, to start with. First of all, I don't think I did justice to your background. If I can once again request you to explain your background in detail, and then kickstart with the first question: why do the world need quantum computers?
That's a good question. I like to start. So my name is Damir Bogdan. I'm a computer scientist, so I'm not a quantum physicist. I've worked for a long time in Swiss banking, IT, in strategy group for Swiss Telecom, also in India, and afterwards in the executive board of Switzerland's third biggest bank as a CIO. And I thought, based on the pillars of technology, of strategy, and of management, I need to build a bridge over it, and went to Silicon Valley, where I spent roughly nearly 8 years developing innovation strategy for big corporates. I founded my own company, IndiqAI, and this brought me to this endeavor, Quantum Basel. I've met the investor, Dr. Thomas Stechelin, 4 years back, and he wanted to do something against the potential deindustrialization of a nation. And so he invested 500 million Swiss francs into an innovation campus. Sustainability was set as a goal because he's a long-term investor. And so I've developed a strategy which includes then the technology part of it. And within this technology part, if you think 20, 30 years ahead, not saying that will happen then, but if you think really in this time frames, then quantum computing and AI definitely will be on stage. And so this is why we said that when we have a campus like Uptown Basel, we need a company, Quantum Basel, and this is what I founded, the Hub for Quantum Computing and Artificial Intelligence. So we are now in the third year, and we are partnering with IBM, where we are one of the global quantum hub partners, with D-Wave System, and as well with IonQ, of which we do have also a physical quantum system, the first commercial usable quantum system from IonQ outside the US and the first in Switzerland on our campus. Now, back to your question, why does the world need quantum computing? I think there are many aspects, perhaps just to name three of them. First of all, when we look at the computing power which is needed over time, now especially with AI, then we need more and more performing computers. And Moore's law is since a couple of years flattening out, so the computing power isn't doubling anymore on every 1.5 years. And so when we want to run AI, we need more and more computers. And this leads to the second point. This is the energy consumption. Since the introduction of ChatGPT 2.5 years ago to the world, the energy consumption worldwide for data centers doubled, and it will go this way again. And this brings me then to the last and most important point. Quantum computing has the potential to, in a hybrid mode, to support these kind of calculations, be it in AI, be it in simulation, be it in optimization, in a way that they are not just perhaps faster or with better quality, but with less energy used. And this is one of the main facts.
And I must say, Damir, I had the privilege of visiting Quantum Basel in September last year. And I think it's one of the most forward-looking campus that you're building, and your team and the commitment that Quantum Basel has to innovate in this field. Much respect for that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Saad, you are driving this initiative for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I had the privilege of visiting Riyadh on World Quantum Day, and thank you for inviting me to speak there and meet the world leaders which are shaping this initiative there. I would love to understand from you two things. Number one is what specific measures is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia taking to advance in the field of quantum computing, and why does it matter for the region?
It's always a pleasure, Kapil, and lovely to talk to you all with about that. Maybe I first introduce myself. My name is Saad Al-Uwaid. I'm General Manager of Quantum Technology and Advanced Computing Institute in KAXT, King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology, and this is a national lab for the kingdoms to bring the national priorities to the real implementations. And also, I'm a project leader of Quantum Economy Project in Center for Fourth Industrial Revolution SA. It's in collaboration with the World Economic Forum. As for your nice introduction, I'm just a process or just a player in among many players in that, and we are really pushing not only quantum computing, but it's also the technologies itself to the kingdom. So maybe answering your first question, how is that being done? First, just as to push the momentum, and this is what we have been doing since last year. We have been working on multiple initiatives, both from supported by government or personal ones. Also, we have the Quantum Computing Association, and it's really bringing all the people together, looking at the perspective, at the issue from different perspective. Either you are from public as a public awareness, from knowing just what is quantum computing, what is quantum methodologies, etc., or as from the decision makers and policy makers, where the thinking of why we do that, etc., etc. And this is also answering your second question about why, for example, the kingdom should be in that boat. The kingdom do have multiple initiatives in that. Still, there is no national agenda and national agenda in that sense, but it's to come. And I believe this is the right time to do it. There are lots of organizations now do really think that and work towards having this quantum technology being on board for the kingdom.
Absolutely. And thank you, Dr. Saad, for sharing these details and seeing it firsthand, the kind of push that the kingdom is making in emerging technologies that will contribute, and not just for the kingdom, but at a global stage. These advancements that you are doing is going to help the globe to advance and further build on it. So, and we have seen that happening, across emerging technologies, even in the field of AI. The amount of push that the kingdom has given to motivate the companies in the kingdom as well as outside the kingdom to kind of provide a global support. That's really remarkable. And on that note, I would like to invite Dr. Utpal Chakraborty. Welcome to the show. If I can request you to share your background and your key focus, Dr. Utpal, has been towards AI advancements in India. So maybe throw some light on that as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kapil, and thank you, Mr. Damir and Dr. Said, for a nice introduction. So my name is Dr. Utpal Chakraborty, and so I am a researcher into AI and quantum. So on AI, definitely there are a lot of initiatives that I was part of in different companies, starting from IBM, L&T, and other companies. But on the quantum side, mainly on the quantum machine learning side, because as Dr. Shahid has rightly said, like it is not only quantum computing, but the other quantum technologies as well. Like if you talk about quantum communication or sensing or any other technologies, and even QML, which is a very integral part of the entire quantum journey. So my focus is on some industry and academia projects, which are mainly on quantum technologies, not on the computing side, because that again, uh, an area where it requires a huge investment, time, and all other things. And probably in many cases, we are not ready for that, although government is supporting such initiatives. The government has already declared a huge fund, and people are already taking advantage of that. So my work is mainly on QML, and we do some algorithms, and we do test it in some simulators and see like if we can make it industry ready when we have got a good number of pure qubits in coming years. So it's kind of a preparation that you can see. Apart from that, also you have started a little bit of R&D with some of the academia on the communication part, mainly the QKD, and to see like how far we can do to trying to develop a low cost protocol for free space communication. So this is about my quantum journey. But on AI side, yes, we are doing so. We have developed good applications on personalized learning, along with the collaboration of academia like IIT Bombay and all. So and these products were quite successful. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Utpal. And one thing which is shaping a lot in this field right now is the convergence of these two technologies that we briefly spoke about, quantum and AI. But there are a lot of questions out there. Number one, why is it needed? Number two, is it even needed for that matter, right? And if advancements in these two technologies move forward together, how do we see it impacting the current technological landscape? What kind of businesses are we expecting to see in the coming years, and how is it going to be different from what we have seen so far? So, Damir, you have been at the center of all of this. You travel around the world and discussing with the governments, the public sector companies, as well as in the private sector space with the young startups. How do you see this whole convergence piece is coming together to around the globe? And are there any particular aspects that you think are going to be very important for the companies to pay attention to build for the new age where these technologies are going to be the new norm, if you will?
Okay, it's a big question, and I would like to slice it perhaps in three parts. The first one is something following up what was just has been said before. So quantum computing as such is perhaps not a completely mature technology in a way like classical CPUs or classical computers or even AI and GPUs are. So it's still in this developing phase. There are advancements in hardware, there are advancements in error correction, there are advancements in software, in algorithms, and all this asks for people who are able to understand this technology. And therefore, this is my first point, the universities are very important because we also have to bridge the gap between the research and the industry. And therefore, we at Quantum Basel, together with the University of Basel, founded the Institute for Quantum Computing and Quantum Coherence with 8 professors in it already, 6 of them in the field of quantum physics and 2 of other fields, so that we really can see where does this journey go and how can we bring this from the university lab then really to this industry. And therefore startups are needed for sure. They have a great idea. There are often these spin-offs also out of universities, and then therefore we have with Kai Venture a startup accelerator on the campus who supports quantum and AI startups. And now coming back to the second point of the question, yes, indeed, we started, as I said, with 3 different quantum providers, but in the meantime, we also do have 500 NVIDIA GPUs over our partner Phoenix on site, so that we can really play with this convergence. And there are 3 factors which showcase that this convergence is important. The first one is when you want to do something with quantum and AI, AI as such has to have this robustness. And so the classical limitation of an AI is if input data differed from training data, and then there is a lack of robustness. And with a couple of projects we've conducted as well in pharma, we saw that hybrid solution can increase the robustness rates for these models. And this has a huge impact on the performance of every AI applications. So we saw up to 60% more performant models when you converge quantum and AI. A second part is unseen patterns. So there is an academic report claiming that when an AI looks at the specific data set, let's say at fraud patterns within a payment transaction, it does see one pattern. And when you look with a quantum-enabled compute on the same data set, you as well see patterns, but they differ. There are different patterns as those with AI. So it's not that quantum computing can see better pattern, but you have to combine the best of 2 worlds to bring them together. And this can be used then for drug development, for business decision. And these use cases, following how to leverage these approaches in order to improve business decisions, are very important. And this we conducted already. I can refer later to them, a few of those projects. And the third part why this combination is important, I already mentioned in my introduction, it's the energy consumption. So there's a late study of Salesforce claiming, it's an estimation, that every time you use ChatGPT, the energy consumption needed is the equivalent to 684 kilograms of CO2, which is about 5 fuel tanks of gas. So this is what we are talking about. So robustness, different pattern, energy, everything is going into this direction, that the convergence of quantum computing and AI are very important. So with quantum computing, is like when you look at the set of data and you put glasses on, you see clearer picture. This is where we are. And so this is why time series forecasting, as example, or quantum machine learning models. These are some projects we are conducting very successfully with customers already in this space.
Wow, wow, very well put. And what do you think, Dr. Saad, are the key applications of this technology when the development is being aggressively pushed? Uh, what do you have some top key use cases in mind that to use these technologies?
Uh, uh, as it's a really good questions, and I thought that you are reading my mind. I was talking with a guy, with one of my team members last week about this specific thing, and we have been looking at that. You see, it's all around the world that you need some POC or some a showcase for investors, and also for governments to support. And this is also the future that what we are seeing. So like what Damer said, and I will not say more of that because he just killed this topic, the AI and quantum. But maybe I will add more also another aspect of AI and HPC, the high performance computing, where we see now more upcoming trending of connecting the high performance computers with the quantum computers to do some kind of and this is the exactly answering your question, Kapil. The multi-level or multi-focus simulators, for example. So you have a micro macro simulators, simulation for something, for example, for red blood cells. Let's take it as an example. So the macro level, it needs less computing than the micro level, while the micro can do it in one shot. And in the molecular level, that's what quantum computers are eligible to do, while the communication, the macro level, that can be done in normal HPCs, and then the communication can be done there. This is one of the potential use cases. I think this is will do very good harmony. And when AI comes to the image, and I'm taking this very specific example, you can do it in all the examples, that can detect a pattern for and then use a clever way to reduce the computation by, for example, looking at the database, doing some calculations, etc., etc. So this is one example that all these three fields that comes together in one image, with reducing time, making more precision solutions, etc., etc. Yeah, definitely. There are, in if we consider quantum communication, quantum sensing, there are more and more applications that have to be invested on.
Got it. And I'm going to stay with you, Dr. Saad, for one very interesting thing that you mentioned about high performance computing. If we can double click on that for our audience, could you please elaborate what is high performance computing? How is it different from what people are used to seeing today? And what difference can it make in building applications?
Definitely, my pleasure. So the high performance computers are a number of, say, ordinary servers, but they are connected with a very fast network. This InfiniBand network is in speed of, if I can put it in speed of light, that is doing calculation like you are doing in one laptop, but with a number of CPUs, GPUs at the same time. It's using some libraries, some sort of communication. But for other users, what we do care by the end, that we use the high performance computers, or the very fast computers as a one computer by the end.
Very well. Dr. Utpal, if I can invite you to speak more about the so when I see the evolution of computers, right? Back when mainframe computers came out, it was like the size of a big room today. And then today, our mobile phone is also a computer, which is as fast or much faster than it was before. Today, a question that usually comes a lot about when we, first of all, when we talk about artificial intelligence, is of course now it has started providing value to the top line of a company. Right, either we are increasing the top line or reducing the bottom line. That's what the application of AI comes into picture, especially about quantum computers. Right, where do you see it fitting well? Is it gonna impact the top line for the businesses? Is it gonna impact the bottom line, or do you have a different point of view when these two technologies when we speak about? And feel free to talk either about these technologies converging or independently.
No, of course, converging, Kapil, no doubt about it. And Mr. Damir and Dr. Shah has already mentioned that. So, of course, converging. But I would like to highlight one thing here. I think both these technologies, the machine, when we talk about machine learning models, right, and we talked about like the large language models or small language models, which are nothing but the variants of transformers. These models are not ready to run on a quantum processor at this point of time. If you get good number of qubits also, because these models are not made for quantum processors, right? So if we talk about the transformer neural network, we have got different layers, right? Starting from tokenizers to your embedding to your your attention model and all other things. Both the blocks, the encoder and decoder, these are built for kind of a GPU kind of a environment, right? So wherein you can have GPUs and CUDA running on the GPU, and it can do some kind of a parallel processing, some kind of a parallel, although it is not pure parallel. I mean, in the context of quantum, it is not, it's still sequential, right? And what we are doing here is we are doing a huge amount of mathematical operations, like matrix operations or vector operations. That's what we are doing there. But at the same time, if I take the same model into a quantum processor right now, which is available, even in a simulator level, okay, and I have got a good amount of qubits in the simulator, it is not going to run, okay, because these are not built in that manner. So what we need is, what I'm trying to say is basically, although these two technologies are converging, there should be a constant effort from the scientific community to develop algorithms for the quantum processors. And at this stage, probably many of the quantum processor architectures are not mature. It is maturing. So if you talk about superconducting or any other this thing, I don't know what shape it is going to take tomorrow when we'll have a good amount of pure qubits with error correction and all, right? So this is very, very important. I think this is something we need to understand, that this should go hand in hand, and this research should go in that direction. And this is happening. And that's what I am also doing, contributing a little bit, whatever I can in this area. Now coming to like the adoption of quantum AI, if we talk about in the industries, then definitely there are some use cases which Mr. Damir has these things, something healthcare, okay, drug research and something. These are kind of already people have tried doing that in a different way. Like for example, D-Wave. Okay, so D-Wave is an annealing system, right? So it is not a pure qubit. I mean, people has a lot of speculations and a lot of these things about D-Wave computing. But in D-Wave, people are trying to run some simulations on drug discovery and other areas. So this is an area I think will give us a result very quickly. Apart from that, in banking, like portfolio optimization is something many people are trying, right? Doing a portfolio optimization with quantum algorithms, kind of thing. But I think it will still take a little bit of time till the hardware matures. So yes, of course, it will impact top line. Okay, to answer you this thing, because this is something coming there. Yeah, so that's what I can say at this point of time, at least. Yeah.
Thank you. And I see, Damir, you would like to comment on that. So
Yeah, I think this is it's really a great input. And we also see this problem that you can't run everything on a quantum system. And so when looking at AI, what we saw, our vision is that we not only we look at the models themselves, but as well as to the input to the models and where quantum may play a role. And in order to improve those, for instance, for the selection of features and for feature selection, we definitely see that quantum computing has great momentum to support this kind of models. And what you also see is that not only quantum algorithm provide this new way of computing, but there are lots of very interesting classical architecture which can run in parallel, like you mentioned liquid neural networks as one of the topics we are actively working on as well. There is a kind of liquid time constant on what that allows, if that they can flexible adapt when new input comes in. And QGANs, where you quantum generative adversarial networks, which to create enhanced synthetic data. And so this kind of enhancement have to be watched as well, to combine then exactly as you said, Dr. Utpal, that you can't just run a classical AI on it, but with the feature selection you can work on it. And the point with D-Wave is absolutely correct. What we did though with D-Wave, we have two use cases or two projects we finished. One is with the Vinci Group. This is a huge conglomerate from France, more than 250,000 employees. And we used the D-Wave hybrid solver for the networking planning of HVAC solutions, of heating, ventilation, air conditioning for complex manufacturing buildings. And after having run the simulation over a quantum compute, it was more than two-digit percent figures, less material needed, and a middle two-digit percent figure of less crossings, which means less energy consumption when the whole air conditioning system within this manufacturing site is run. And so these are real world use cases who enhanced efficiency. Another one is the job shop scheduling. We finished a project with Pfizer, large in life science sector, and there it's about a drug manufacturing. And Pfizer talked about this on stage already. I don't want to go too much into details, but when it comes to the manufacturing of drugs within this site, we improved by two-digit percentage the efficiency. No more late jobs, and it's the combination of different kind of machines with different kind of know-how and with different kind of materials, and you can optimize that. And so these are already here and now use cases conducted with, let's say, D-Wave. On the other side, as I said, when you look into the future, we see that time series forecasting is something which is very interesting to be conducted for a different kind of industries. This might be for together with the classical machine learning and quantum computing. We did something with Hermes in Hamburg, but we are also looking for other companies at the moment where we can use this qualities of both technologies together.
very well. Dr. Saad, would you like to add something?
Oh no, I'm just enjoying this conversation, and I love this how it's moving towards that. Maybe also should be a separation between the quantum enhanced AI and the quantum AI itself. I think it's a good perspective to really separate the infrastructure part from the application itself. As I was hearing here, maybe it's all over because these two gentlemen are experts in this. Maybe I'm less expert in the quantum AI part, but I believe this is the direction of movement for the future.
But you see, perhaps if I may jump in, this is exactly why we are here as well. We think that the first question in this podcast from you, Kapil, was why is quantum computing important? And we now outlined already a few of the potentials and opportunity. And when I look at the investments by governments globally into quantum computing, into research, when I look at the billions flowing into this development, when I look at the number of IPs, which is exponentially growing, the race is completely ongoing. And then it's very important to provide access to universities, like say to KAUST, with different kind of quantum compute power, so that those kind of people who are interested in to try it out, that they have the opportunity for. And this is what we are also doing. We are trying to bring this access to this university and research institutes. So I'll also ask bundles so that you can really try it out as a test bed and learn how to do it and what can be done and what can't be done. And I think this is very important aspect you just mentioned, Dr. Said.
Absolutely. And what do you think? Now I want to flip the coin and talk about the security aspects of this advancement in these technologies as well. Dr. Saad, what is your take on, when technologies like quantum, which brings in massive computation strength on the table, to the security encryption, the digital encryption that exists today? Uh, is there anything to worry for the existing digital infrastructures from this computing strength? Are we prepared about this?
Thank you for the question. I think let's put or agree on few things first. Quantum threat is real and it's disruptive and it's coming. I don't know whether it's coming in multiple years. It's coming on the red line. That's been from 3 to 5 to 7 years, or maybe some people say until 2035. But it's coming. So what we have been seeing now is harvest now, decrypt later, which is the key risk, and it have many potential of cracking the AI models, the API reverse engineering. It can really affect on all of that aspects. As the main or the potential thing is breaking the RSA and the ACC protocols, which is something it's very serious. As if you really want to, or if we went really deep on the reason and the resource for this, I do believe that there is so many dimensions, and that can be first. Time is really it's really time consuming to apply new cybersecurity rules, and you take the old crypto models and you apply new ones. However, waiting is too late, and taking into account that you have many options that are now in place, the NIST standards for emerging, the PQC protocols that other suggestions for company, for example, that they need to look at these different say protocols, evaluate them. Building skills as well will take some time. But once this technology is there, once the threat is there, then we will have another problem, not lack of skills, but it's the skills that everybody is trying to get them. So we will have the same, similar to AI problem. Maybe a few years ago, I'm not so old, but a few years ago, AI was not a thing especially in computer science, for example. It was theoretically good. It's promising, but the what we are seeing now in the ChatGPT and all the AI models, it's coming to the image, and I think more to come for sure. And the same thing goes for quantum. So now you can't find an AI skill person with an affordable, for example, salaries. And maybe last, the first movers. So once you really have or you really move towards the quantum strategies in security, and that you have this post quantum protocols, then you are really first adopting this technology. You act now, and you really monitor all that area.
Absolutely. Very, very, very well put, Dr. Saad. Thank you for that. Dr. Utpal, what's your take on the quantum threat?
Yeah, I think so. I think already the audience also is quite aware of that. The very foundation of any algorithms, I mean, that we are using right now for encryption, are basically the time, right? I mean, factorization of numbers. That is something is the basis of that. Now with the Shor's algorithm, it has already been demonstrated in a small scale that this kind of encryption can be easily breaked, right? But I think even then it is not so easy, not so straightforward, okay, to be, I mean, technical. It's not so straightforward to break that. But yes, there is a possibility that once we have good number of qubits, we'll be able to break any RSA or ECC keys, as Dr. Shah had just mentioned. So that possibility is there. But the good news is already we have got post-quantum cryptography or quantum safe cryptographies, wherein we have not used those techniques, rather we have to use some other techniques to do that. Now, there are cascading effects of this security threat, even if we talk about blockchain, right? Because the very basis of blockchain is the public key encryption, right? And that's in danger. And same goes for your digital signatures. All your digital signatures are at risk. And also, to a great extent, the AI. Why? Like if you talk about, again, language models, so somehow if the bad actors or the hackers has the access to the endpoints of your model, they can do poisoning now. Okay, they can easily do poisoning because your that encryption doesn't work now at your endpoints, whatever encryption that you have put. So yes, it brings a good amount of risk, but at the same time, it is also not that straightforward and not that easy that you have got a quantum computer and you just hack everywhere and you break all the keys. No, it's not that straightforward. But yes, we have got preparation. Our universities are working well, and they have already developed mechanisms wherein we can save our encryptions.
Interesting. And Damer, I'm sure you have a lot to add on this. You actually have the Iron Man suit that we are talking about. So I'm referring to the quantum computer. So how do you think about any threats that this technology brings in, and what is the preparedness that you are seeing happening around this?
Now, first of all, we have to distinguish between the hype and the reality. And so hype is definitely when somebody says that quantum computing today can hack all the RSA encryption with Peter Shor's algorithm from 94 and things like that. So this won't happen. At the same time, it is the fact, or it is said that with 3% probability, this could happen in 2030. And sources said with 33% probability in 35. So I'm in a board of directors of a couple of companies. One of them was a healthcare insurer. And when I look at the 3% probability to be hacked, all my data being transparent in 5 years' time, or with 30% in 10 years' time, then I think my saying or my question towards the CIO was, okay, what have you done to prepare? And the second point I want to answer here is, we are always talking about this Q day, the day when a quantum computer will be able to hack this algorithm or to use the algorithm and to hack the RSA encryption. And I don't think that there is a day we should be looking at. It will be perhaps something which is happening over time. It's a series of events which are perhaps not connected one to each other. There will be a hack. There will be the energy grid goes down for an hour, or there will be a political made transparent some. It won't be recognizable at all. It will be something, a series of events happening over time, and then perhaps expert will say, okay, this in back time, when you look backwards, this could be then defined as the so-called Q day. And this is my third point, as already it has been said, have to prepare for this era, and we have to implement those kind of standards. And last time there have been new standards like the RSI standards back in the 70s. It took us 10 years between the standards became a de facto standard, so that they've been implemented everywhere and it was usual to use them. And so if you think back then 5 years or in front or even 10 years, do we have this time? And exactly as it has been said, harvest now, decrypt later, these organizations who are just sucking in the data, putting it in the vault, and then waiting for the moment where they can take them out, this won't happen. And there is a reason why quantum computers in many countries have been labeled as dual-use technology. So a technology which can use for industry purposes, but also for military purposes. And when you look at reports, then if you look at the IP I've mentioned before, and I don't want to become too geopolitical here, but half of the IP in quantum computing is taken by Chinese companies. And quantum communications, Chinese companies already are in the lead or before Western and US companies. And this is a little bit worrisome, because when this series of events are happening and when this so-called Q day is recognized or not, then the problem is that we are entering in a new era, an era where no one and nothing can be trusted anymore. Your today's financial information might be irrelevant in 10 years' time, yet your healthcare data or fingerprints won't. And just imagine all today's secret being public within a period. And so we really have to think about, do we want to go this way or not? And therefore we have to prepare. We have to take inventory of all the data we've got. We have to stay informed about this NIST and ICA standards. We have to talk with your tech partners. Hey, what can we do to use this this new standards? How can we secure the processes, not just the data in the vault? We have to test early, build a migration roadmap, educate leadership. This all has to be done better yesterday than today. And this is part of our mission as well. And we think, as it has been pointed out by my colleagues before me already perfectly, it's no time to wait. We don't wait until the technology is here. We have to act now.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you, Damir, because many times the mistakes that some corporates do is thinking NIST, when it came out with the Palmer paper, to move to post-quantum cryptography by 2030, 2035. Many corporates look at it as, okay, we have 10 years to respond to it. We have 5 years to respond to it. And I think that's being complacent. Post-quantum cryptography has to start becoming a standard. And you touched upon a very interesting point. As an example, when RSA from being introduced to becoming a norm, it took 10 years because it's an evolving process. You have to kind of act on it and start doing it today, and not to wait when you start seeing a lot of negative impact. So we are entering an age where this new encryption mechanisms will have to start becoming a norm.
May I add perhaps one more point? Blockchain has been mentioned, and I also want to come back to my point of hype or not hype. So it's important to distinguish between blockchain technology as such in general and, let's say, Bitcoin as a specific application of it. The blockchain, in our opinion, as a decentralized ledger, is not inherently vulnerable. However, the cryptography methods used by many blockchain-based systems like Bitcoin, they could be. Bitcoin is particularly at risk, I'd even say, because it relies on public key cryptography and with this ESDSA and to secure transaction. And with a sufficiently powerful quantum computer, in theory, could derive a private key from a public one, allowing an attacker to forge transactions. And this is heightening also in the risk that Bitcoin addresses are vulnerable once they have to be been used, because they are then publicly visible on the blockchain. And so you can see that, and with compute power, you can derive the private key out of it. And moreover, so if you want to upgrade Bitcoin to post-quantum cryptography, as we just said, this is a little bit harder, because this would require a so-called hard fork, where you have to really start with a completely new chain. And to have this is unprecedented. This is requiring all users to manually transfer their funds to a new quantum-safe blockchain, including Satoshi Nakamoto. So this is a little bit worrisome we see with the Bitcoin, but not with the blockchain. Perhaps, sorry if I'm on, that was perhaps too much detail, but I'm really in this, we really have to think about this.
100%. And yesterday I was on this point, just to conclude, I was with this interesting gentleman, and he said that we will now get to know if Satoshi is actually alive or not, because when the topic of quantum comes in and the move happens, which means Satoshi is alive. So
exactly,
a mystery will be unveiled. Dr. Saad, would love to have your take on this topic as well, please.
Maybe I will add 2 points. The first one, the bigger network, the harder you get, especially for the decentralized network. I think if we really want to put the things in perspective here, the main question not if, but it's more of when. And the key take away from this is that the roadmaps from IBMs of the world, Googles of the world, the big universities in China, there is a big improvement in that, and there will be a turning point, as Dr. Utpal he mentioned that the RSA 2048 is the turning point, where if that is breakable in 1 hour, for example, then this is the disaster. Then this is the zero zone, where you have nothing to do. But then you have to look at the back of this, maybe few steps back, few years back, and then by telling that, ignoring the timeline is very risky. That the people will lose the opportunities in there.
Absolutely. And I see now, some questions have started coming in from the audience. Going to the questions, I think we have addressed most of them already, but I do want to shout out to the audience for asking the questions. Arav from India, Sophia from Switzerland, and Amelia from Dubai. I saw Robin from New York. Thank you so much for putting in the questions, but I think we have covered these questions already. So, but I see something specific about the healthcare sector. That could be something interesting to double click on. For industries like finance or healthcare that rely heavily on encryption, what sector should be most urgently preparing for the quantum era? Okay. I think this is good to, if I reframe the question, Robin, that you have asked, is trying to understand more maybe the impact specifically on the healthcare and the finance industry that it can have. And Damir, you spoke about that piece, but is there anything specific that you would like to add on for this?
It's always hard. I don't want to argue with fear. And what we do when we talk about quantum safe encryption is we are trying to argue with fear, and this is what we wanted to avoid. So there is opportunities, there's a way forward. I think I've published a week ago on LinkedIn an article exactly on this topic. So there are a few steps that can be taken, and then companies like IBM, like Quantum Basel, they can help you to get this way. But I think to answer this question in terms of opportunities, there are many opportunities, let's say in pharma, healthcare, where one could start using this kind of technology. So there is one project we've conducted, and it was about the detection of mutations for precision medicine for cancer patients. And we did that with a company called Moonlight AI. And they've developed a computational pipeline to segment the slide at the single cell level, extracting and aggregating features out of it. And the result then was a single level prediction of mutation status. They started that with AI, and then we started to use quantum with it. And the improvement of accuracy with quantum enhanced multiple instance learning has been tremendous, so that instead of weeks and going through a DNA sequencing phase, they could do this within hours. And so we are also in a research project with NMR spectra to molecular structure. There it's about the improvement of high throughput chemical analysis. And I don't want to go in too much into detail because this is something which is ongoing, but what we see is that quantum algorithms may allow prediction of NMR signals with an accuracy beyond the reach of classical simulations. And so there are many opportunities in the healthcare life science part. And coming from a banking sector, I've published a paper half a year ago. It's downloadable on our website as well with the Swiss Banking Association. And we showed the opportunities within the financial services part. So what exactly can be done today or not? We are conducting right now a case in Italy with Unipol, an insurance company, where it's about the mitigation of risk. But if you are really interested in what kind of use case within the financial service sector is possible, you can download this paper or drop me a line. I will send you the paper. There are many opportunities, and even we finished projects. At the end, they weren't better than the classical AI projects. But the company learned how to use algorithms. And so we've ramped up already 20 people in our company, quantum physicists, algorithm data scientists, and they help to train those people. And so with the next project, there will be even better business result out of it. So start to focus on the opportunities as well.
Amazing, very well put. And that I would like to bring that to the next question that Sarah has asked. Dr. Saad, if I can request you to take it, what excites you the most about the quantum future? Not just the risks, but the opportunities it could unlock.
You mean personally, or as in a company level or for a country level? Because this can be seen as for personal interest. I'm really interested in quantum communication and the various applications that can, or the protocols that can be put on the top of the normal the normal communication methodology that we are doing now. As for companies, or as maybe a suggestion for somebody who really did start working in this some time ago, yeah, it's win-win. Yeah, it's have some risk. It's if we can put it in comparison between time, effort, and also the gain. I do believe that the gain is more of data protection, a happy client when especially the one that do care about security, the talent acquisition, the pipeline will be much easier to retain. Also, strategic partnerships with the big companies, and also building the reputation. So once there is a turning point or something happened, that you are the early adopters. As for if we can move to the highest level of government itself, I do think that the sovereignty is very important. And as Damir said, the dual use of technologies, the export controls, all of these things are coming into the image of the sovereignty itself. So being a technology leader and sovereignty. I hope I answered this question from different perspectives.
Absolutely, Dr. Saad. That was very interesting. Thank you. And for the next two questions, I would merge the questions and I'll request Dr. Utpal to answer them. There's a question from Naveen. What advice would you give to students or young professionals today who want to future proof their careers for the quantum era? And is it possible for small startups or students to work on the quantum technology, or is it only for big companies? So I think we can merge these questions to number one, address is are young startups and students in a position to build using the quantum technology, and what advice would you give to them?
Well, I think great question. So first of all, yes, quantum is a multidisciplinary field. Okay, it's not about computer science. It's not about quantum physics. It's about all the fields like electrical engineers, electronics engineers, computer scientists, physicists. So yeah, definitely you can build a career in quantum technologies. And there are many, as just now Dr. Sat has talked about quantum communication, which is also close to my heart. And we are also talking about quantum internet. Okay, so a completely secure internet with quantum technologies. So maybe in future we'll get an internet which is completely secure with all quantum technologies. So yes, to students there are a lot of opportunities they can pursue in the physics or the engineering part, and also the AI part, because quantum machine learning is something which is a low-hanging fruit, I can say. Okay, people can start developing algorithms. They can see the results in simulators and all those things, right? And for that, you don't require a big investment. So I think if the question is coming from somebody from India, then I would definitely encourage, because still we don't have that much of investment for very big projects. But yes, we want to be in the race. We don't want to be behind the race. So that is something definitely, yes, small startups can do a lot of things. Simple example, quantum random number generation. You don't require a big, huge funding, huge this thing. In sensing also, some areas you don't require. But when you talk about, like, if you are working any of the stacks of quantum computing or the entire quantum architecture, now we also call quantum open stack architecture, wherein many things can fit into that. So probably some of the hardware research and hardware work that requires a huge amount of investment and time. But there are many areas wherein we can actually contribute, we can put. So startups can come in those areas. So I think Mr. Damir would be a great person to add on this, and also I'd request Dr. Shahid to add on this, because I think this question they will also be able to address this in a better way.
I was going to jump and say that, but yeah, thank you, Optal. I think it's sorry, Damer. I'm just jumping in this. I think from what I see, that quantum mechanics is counterintuitive, and especially for the people who are just observing and really taking all the all the classical physics as a standard. It becomes hard for us to understand. But when that it's being taught to the students, they will understand it faster than us. This is what I really observed in the last couple of years that I was working in that the new generation is really understanding this is faster, and they can also correlate it to other stuff that they are doing as well.
I wanted to add a point, as the question came from India, and you mentioned India before. So we at Quantum Basel, we signed a contract with the state of Telangana they are developing an AI city in Hyderabad. And so we've got, at the moment, it's a memorandum of understanding that we can help them also with quantum to ramp up this AI, perhaps in the future, quantum city up there. And there are already a lot of work doing with startups there. And so this startup question is great as well, because no, it's not something for big companies only. You can easily try it out. We've got also small packages for startups only, comes with advice from quantum scientists, because we can really think that you can leapfrog your innovation. And especially when you're in the startup field, working with novel kind of technology might help you to leapfrog this innovation. And regarding this motivation, so what catches me in this quantum game is, I've missed the decade when computer chips have been developed, and this was the gold rush of the computer industry and everything. So right now, if you ask somebody early 90s, when the internet came out, what will be possible with the internet? How will it change our world, our businesses? Nobody could have given you an answer on that. The same with the iPhone in 2007. If somebody asks you what will be possible with this iPhone, if you really told them what we are doing with it today, they would say you're crazy. And I think we are in the same situation right now. We are at the beginning of a completely new era. Computing power for the first time in history bifurcated. And we think that with quantum computing, there will be so many opportunities that they will change the industry within the next decade more than traditional computers did over the past decades. And so therefore, I think it is very important for startups, for university students, for corporates to jump in, not just because of this quantum safe encryption. This is a have to be done, but also to try it out, to come into this, because Boston Consulting Group framed it in a way that those companies, those 10% of the companies who are in the quantum game already today will take 90% of the future value of the business value out. And so we all are in this here and now. So this is why one should start with that.
That's such an amazing way, I would say, to even conclude this phenomenal conversation. I want to thank Damir, Dr. Utpal, Dr. Saad for your time. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I learned so much from this. If I can invite you individually to have some concluding remarks, so 2 minutes each, starting with you, Dr. Saad.
Thank you very much. First, I would like to thank Quantum, and also I would like to thank you, Kapil, Damir, and also Utpal for this nice Friday afternoon conversation. Friday here is I'm in vacation and I'm in holiday in the weekend, but I'm really enjoying talking about quantum with you, and also everyone who's really hearing us here. Maybe I will start with where we did end just now, and this is invitation for the new generation to spark and really think of this as a revolution to come. If we see AI, and I'm not old, but I'm going to say that in it was statistical math, and people they was afraid of it. It's not going to work. It's something that it's far from us, and then suddenly AI is booming, and then the same thing expectedly will be for quantum. And I'm not mentioning also only quantum computing here, but also communication, sensing, and also in some sense the metrology and all that other applications. So the future is really bright for the new generation to strive in this. Maybe it's not happening next year. No, it's a marathon. And this is why there are a governmental effort to push the boundaries also from the big companies to really have seeing this as a big opportunity. So if you are hearing me, this is really one of the things that you need to consider. It's whether you are a startup, whether you are somebody who's choosing their field, or even old like me who's really seeing what are the opportunities for their countries to consider at least.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saad. I'm sure that's going to leave a big impact on the next generation. Really appreciate it. Dr. Utpal, if I can have a concluding remarks from you, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. It was really a enriching discussion and experience for me. I would bring an angle that for a technology like quantum, the global collaboration is very, very important, wherein we go across the border, share knowledge, uh, work in a collaborative manner to bring this technology, because no one country can solve this entire problem. Okay, that's not possible. Probably somebody is ahead in the race, somebody is little bit behind, but we all should work together. Like in case of AI, we work together, right? I mean, everybody contributed, and we came to this stage. I think the time now is for quantum, that we all should come together, and not only countries but also industry, academia, government, okay, all together, and bring this technology as soon as possible into business applications.
Thank you very much, Dr. Utpal. Collective growth is the message that I think is going to draw a big impact. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Damir, if I can request you for the concluding remarks, please.
I think I've started already with the concluding remarks before, and this is why I want to keep it short now. So first of all, thank you for my panelists here, for the other colleagues here. And if you need as well in KAUST or CAX something, like try it out with Access, or the people listening, try out, just do it. Every journey starts with its first step. And so try with some Access and play around. I mean, you have to learn Python, that's it. And then you can start to do something with it. So please go ahead. And so I also like the globalization aspect. Yes, I'm a heavy traveler. I'm really around the globe with it. And we just finished a proposal within Jordan last week, and in UAE, we are in the midst of it. And I just want to outline in October, I've been asked by the GITEX Global to organize a panel on quantum computing in Dubai. And I will have CEOs of D-Wave system, of IonQ, of local governments, of the D-Wave on site, on stage on the opening day, on the big stage. And there will be also workshops on how to use quantum computer, how to use cases, how to find them. And also I will have a keynote there this will be mid-October on the GITEX Global, the biggest technology firm event globally. And I think when you see that quantum computing is on stage on these kind of events already, you definitely know, hey, I should step in.
Thank you very much, Damir. And really, Quantum Basel is taking things global, and the contribution that you're making is leaving an impact around the globe. So thank you so much for that. And once again, thank you, everybody. Damir, Dr. Utpal, Saad, it was an absolute pleasure having this conversation with you. It was very enriching. I'm sure the audience learned a lot. I certainly did. And looking forward to continue to build and take the quantum advancement forward. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.